I did a full day's work, you know, dealing with the horse, making a video, giving the dog a walk, all the rest of it. And then I had wine for lunch, and maybe that has disinhibited me a little bit, although it is quite a long time after lunch by now. But I finally settled down to read, well, actually, not so much to read the Telegraph as to do the Saturday crossword, which is my Saturday treat, when I caught sight of this: Queen Elizabeth and her corgis to be immortalised in first official memorial statue. Well, I have to confess, it's the first time I've ever heard those called corgis. There goes the knighthood. Okay, this is the first official memorial statue, and it is the Queen as a young woman. And let's have a look at this. It's supposed to be regal, but quite frankly, there's only two things that hit my eye straight away, and it's not the robe of state she's wearing. Look, I don't know what's happened to British sculptures, but I was put in mind of the dreadful Diana statue I ripped into, well, a couple of years ago, or whenever it was. 2021, yeah. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Where Princess Diana looks like a very strict headmistress of a school standing outside the gates waiting for a late parent with a sour look on her face. I mean, it's a horrible statue. And this was commissioned, I believe, by her two sons. Well, it's horrible. And this one, although not quite so horrible, well, yeah, it's just as horrible, but in a different way. Queen Elizabeth and her corgis, right, to be immortalised in first official memorial statue. Queen Elizabeth and her beloved corgis, oh God, not again, made using 800 kilos of clay and standing at 7 feet tall, the sculpture captures the late Queen in her youthful splendour, wearing regal state robes with a corgi at her heels. For British sculptor Hewell Bran Pratley, the commission marks one of his first public sculptures in Britain and is understood to be the first dedicated memorial of the late monarch. I cannot see how the Queen would be pleased with this image, frankly, but then I couldn't see how Diana or even her sons would be pleased with this image, but they didn't say anything about it, did they? Mr. Pratley's statue was commissioned by Dr. Sarah Furness, the Lord Lieutenant of Rutland, who said she had the idea after being inundated with letters following the Queen's death from people in the county, many of whom felt the loss like a personal bereavement. Yeah, and many of us did. I did. Some people outside Britain did as well. I wanted something that reflected Her Majesty as a queen rather than as a person for posterity, she said, adding, but we wanted to do something that reflected her warmth and humanity too. So they got Hewell Pratley to do the statue. And he said, Dr. Furness had a vision for a larger-than-life statue. My only criteria were that they would like a young queen and they would like her to be dressed in state robes. So he actually unveiled a maquette at Oakham Castle in March. So it means people saw this and didn't say anything, and that got him the £125,000 in public funding needed to make the statue. It most closely reflects the young Queen for the 50s and 60s, and he's got photos of her all over his studio. He does say she represented something so hopeful. Yeah, she became Queen shortly after the end of the Second World War. Britain was in serious trouble and had been living under the most restrictive of regimes for, well, since 1940. And she was crowned in, what was it, 1951? She ascended to the throne in 51 anyway, I'm sure, sometime around there. So that was 10 dull grey years, and suddenly there was a young glamorous Queen. It meant, well, it made a difference, and certainly she helped lift the country, the feelings of the people, for sure. But she didn't do it looking like that, with her chest pushed forward and her robes thrown out in that way. No. I think it's ever so slightly crude, this picture. And it could have been better. I mean, the basic premise, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think perhaps Mr. Prattley got a little carried away. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I'm also on Twitter and Gab, where I let you know when I've uploaded a new video. Please like this video, please share it, please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, remember, check you're still subscribed. You can donate if you want to as well. All the links are in the description, but the best thing you can do is click that like button. Yep, that's just about it. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Granniopteryx design or Granbo, with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.